Good morning. This is Robert Goodman here on Positive Stroke, Staying Clean. I'm so happy that you're a part of my recovery. I'm so happy that you're here. And today we're going to talk about recovery addiction. But what I want to address today is why do people want to keep their recovery secret? Well, in the beginning of recovery programs and the 12-step program, and we started out with Alcoholics Anonymous program. That was the first program designated about addiction. And they wanted to keep it a secret. Why? Because people looked at the illness of addiction as a moral situation. It wasn't an illness. They didn't look at it as an illness. They look at it that you lost control, that you couldn't stop yourself. That's why we had punishments for addiction and people using and abusing alcohol, how people were arrested and how under the conditions that they were and under the influence. And we still have that today. That hasn't changed. But how society viewed people in addiction was the scum of the earth. I remember people be calling me crackhead, dope fiend. All you want to do is get high. You just want to float your way through the world and everything is going to be okay. And the interesting thing is when I got recovery and I remember going into this business, they had a job interview and I told them I'm a recovered addict. They said, oh shit, we can't, no, it's fantastic that you get recovery, but you just don't seem like a good fit for our company. Or we'll give you that call back. We're going to keep your application on file. We'll let you know on our decision. Because people looked at us that were recovering addicts as the scum of the earth, crackhead, dope fiend, alcoholic. But people in addiction are so much more. So much more. How do I know this? Because I am a product of addiction to recovery, to living life on life's terms, to enjoying life far beyond my dreams because I have recovery today. And I don't care what people think about me when I say, yeah, I'm a recovering addict. Yeah, I was addicted to cocaine. I have no problem with sharing this on YouTube. That's why I have so many videos on YouTube. That's why I have so many channels on YouTube. That's why I'm on Facebook. Because I don't care what you think. But a lot of people do. There are people that have very high-paying jobs that they don't want nobody to know that they are an alcoholic or a dope fiend, a recovering person. Because once they find that out, that job disappears. Why? Because society looks at us in a certain way. But now, as time went on, they say that addiction is a disease now. A disease. In the medical field, they say it's a disease. But a lot of people say, you ain't nothing but a crackhead or a dope fiend. You ain't got no disease. That's just a means of them forming a treatment so people can make money. It's all a scam. It's all a lie. That's how some people feel. Some people feel, I don't want them people working for me. They'll steal anything that ain't nailed down. But here's the thing. People are not their disease. A recovered addict is not their disease. There's so much more. So much more. There are more people in recovery that are involved in the recovery business of helping others in addiction than there are normal people. There's so much more. There are so many recovering people that went from not having nothing to achieving so much more. Some of them created their own business. Some people moved up the corporate ladder. So much more. So here's the thing. We so eagerly want to put labels on people. Why? When you put a label on the person, that means that you don't want to help. That it's their fault. That they don't have a disease, they're just love to get high. And that's all they care about. They need to wake up and smell of coffee. So how can we bridge this gap? In recovery, there's only a small amount of people that make it to programs. Why? Because there's not a lot of programs. And here's the interesting thing. Most of the programs are 3 months, 90 days, some are 30 days, 6 months. But you don't have that many programs that are a year or a year plus. And after you complete the program, hit the streets, which causes a revolving door. There are programs out here, but they're not programs that causes people to stay clean and sober, because it takes more than just the program. When a person's working a program of recovery and being in a program, they're connecting with people like them. In recovery, a person has to change their behavior. So that means all the people on their phones that they got high with, they can't associate with these people anymore. The hangouts that they used to hang out when they was getting high, they can't hang out there no more. So what does that mean? Their whole life has to change. And that takes time. Time. So as a person learns about themselves and their addiction, how they clean the wreckage of the past, they're connecting with people in the program like them. They're building relationships, connections, which gives them the strength to continue on in their recovery. In these programs, they're not ashamed to admit. They say, my name is Robert and I'm an addict. But then when they leave the program, You need to keep that to yourself. People ain't gonna look at you in the same manner when they find out you're a recovering addict. Why? Because we made society look at addiction not like a disease, but a moral situation. And then when they finally realize that it's a disease, we done created this stigma about recovery and people that are addicts. The sad thing is that it seems like we're setting up you to fail. Clean you up enough so you can go out there and party some more and you can go back. There are some programs that believe in long term because they're concerned about people in recovery. They want them to have a sound foundation when they leave the program. They need a network. They need a new family of recovering addicts because their friends were people that were addicted, getting high, stealing, robbing, and doing whatever they need to do to get more. That was their association. That was their village. But that's not their village anymore. That's not their people no more. They realize that they can't connect with their people no more. So now they can't connect with these people. They understand that it'll lead them back into addiction, but they need to connect with like-minded people in active addiction. So that means that they're trying to get people to go to meetings, connect with people, get phone numbers. Where they tell you when you come, no, bring a notepad, get a list of numbers, put it in your phone. When you go into a meeting, they say you're a newcomer. Everybody writes their phone number on the piece of paper. They give it to you. It's up to you to call, make connections. Because just knowing the information about what addiction did to us, changing our behavior in addiction, we still want to connect with other people like us so we can stay clean and sober, that identifies with us, that understands our situation. But since society, there's a group of people that look down at us, crackhead, dope fiend, worthless. I don't want them people working for me. But those go from addiction to recovery are not the people that they thought they were. They're good people, honest people. They just had a disease called addiction. It's arrested, and the real person comes out. So, since society looked at us in a certain way, then we kept it a secret. We treated it as a secret. And to me, if I'm keeping it a secret about something that's better than me, in my mind, it's just like I'm an addict, an active addiction. The only thing I'm not using, but I'm having the same feelings and doing the same thing that I would do in my addiction. Sneaking off, getting high. I'm sneaking off to a meeting. But since Robert is proud that he's a recovering addict, that he's not a user anymore, I don't care what people think. I'm good with myself. And I realized that if I keep my recovery a secret, like I was trying to keep my addiction a secret, the same motives and the same feelings is going to come alive in my brain and in my heart and in my mind. And I'm going to want to do the same shit over again. My mind will tell me, we'll find a better way of doing it. That's all. But if I'm sharing that I'm a recovering addict, I'm putting myself on notice with myself. I'm hearing it. I'm not being ashamed about it. Yeah, it was something that I experienced. It's something that I went through. Yes, I have a disease. Yes, I understand that. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. They took my prostate. Now I worry about cancer. I'm getting ready to go in today, and my test results will find out, am I still cancer free? So I'm very concerned about that. This is a very emotional feeling. It's the same feeling I had in my active addiction and when I came into recovery. That feeling of not knowing where this recovery is going to lead me. I do not know what's going to happen when I get the information that I'm going to find out. I'm hoping that I'm good. But the blood test will tell me if I am or not. But I'm going to stay true to the program that I'm doing. I'm still doing what they tell me to do. So I have a positive attitude about it. And it's the same thing with my recovery. I'm happy with myself because my recovery is my recovery. It's not your recovery. So it doesn't matter what you think about me. I'm a crackhead, a dope fiend. You can label me, but that's not who I am. That's my disease. I am not my disease. I'm a human being. I have feelings, I have emotions, I have goals, I have purpose, I care, I help. But my addiction is my disease. Can you understand it? Can you respect that? See, when I tell somebody that I had prostate cancer, their attitude changes with me. They feel more compassion for me because of my situation. But if I say I'm a recovering addict, then they look at me in a different way. But also, I noticed that people that are working hard each and every day have more compassion for a recovering addict or a person that's addicted than a person that has money because they understand the struggles of life, because they suffer. They're in the trenches each and every day to live the best life that they can and provide for their family. They live around people that are addicts. They live about people that are in recovery. They live around people that are homeless, that are struggling. They live around people that are on welfare. They understand the pain of trying to survive. So they have compassion. Most people that give help to homeless people are working people, hardworking people. They're trying to take care of their family, that sacrifice from the family to help others. People that run businesses, those who have labor jobs, they'll take a recovering addict, they'll take a temp person because they're willing to work and do that labor work. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. They're willing to do overtime. So the point I should want to share and drive home today is that we are not our addiction. We are people. We are people that are recovering from an illness called addiction. I'm proud to be a recovering addict than an addict. I'm proud of how far I came and where I am today. And I want to go further. I want to do more. I want to help more. I want to grow. God's grace, I may have, hopefully I have another 20 years of life left in me. I hope. And I want to do something, to start something, to help people for long-term recovery. I have a vision, a plan that I believe will work, that will work. I've been in active addiction for 40 years. I got years in recovery. I don't share how many years I got. You know why? Because it really doesn't matter. In reality, it really doesn't matter how many years I got, as long as I have today. Today matters. Not what I got for the years past. Today matters because I'm living in the now. I'm keeping myself clean and sober in the now. That's what matters. All them years, oh, I got 25, I got 30 years. That's for the newcomer to let a new person know that they can get that. That is obtainable. That people do live that long, clean and sober. That's it. That's all that years that matter. What matters mostly is today. Your recovery today. Because if you don't have recovery today, all them years don't matter. You need it today. The years that you accumulate just gives you wisdom and understanding of recovery and yourself. Due to the fact that I have years and I understand one most important point is that everybody's recovery is different. Your recovery is different from mine. You need to do what you need to do to keep yourself clean and sober. What works for you may not work for me, but what works for me may not work for you. So you need to do what you need to do for yourself to stay clean and sober. I don't brag about or how much time I got, I mean, I don't need a big head about it because that's what happens. I got 25 years in recovery. You need to listen to me. You have no idea. I've gotten wisdom from a baby, a child in my lifetime. Give me some words of wisdom. Which teaches me that I need to always keep my ears open and listen because it doesn't matter where the information comes from. I may get information that may help me if I'm willing to listen to what people say. I don't have to accept everything they say, but I need to listen to learn. That's it. Just because I have 25 years in recovery, time change, people change, situation change, criteria change, information changes, more information comes in, more understanding about addiction, more of the medical situation we learn about. So what worked 10 years ago may not work today. But we want to hold on to the old stuff because that's what worked for us. But what works for me may not work for a new person that comes into recovery. I don't know because I don't live in nobody else's skin but Robert's. So I work on Robert to make Robert better. I work on my recovery so I can stay clean and sober. And I focus people on to work on their own recovery to stay clean and sober. I learn information from others about recovery. And I put what I can use and put it in my tool case, my toolkit of recovery. And when I need it, I can pull it out. But I take the information that I can use and I leave the rest there because it's not for me. Fun matters, tomorrow matters. Being in recovery is enjoying life on life's terms, having fun, connecting with people, doing things together. In recovery, they have people there in programs where people do outings, camping, dances, recovery parties, or birthdays. They create stuff to do together. Why? Because they're connecting, they're building a bond, building a relationship with like-minded people so they can stay like-minded in recovery. They built their own network, their own family in recovery. That's why they're clean and sober. You have to do the same. In the program that you went there to clean the wreckage of your past, to understand addiction, and to find a method so you can stay clean and sober. Also, you're connecting with like-minded people like you in the program. They're there too. You have people that come in for meetings to share their strength and hopes and their experience and how they came into recovery to let you know you're in the right place. They give you the phone number so you have someone to talk to about recovery and some of the issues that you had. You collect phone numbers. Men collect men phone numbers, women collect women's phone numbers. And then you can collect men and women and be cross, but your recovery comes from the same. If you're a man, it comes from another man. You need to get the real deal. Not the relationship recovery, because it don't work. We can do this together, girl. We can get recovery together. Me and you, locking horns. We got each other. I'm in love with you. But I just met you in recovery. I want to be with you. But I just met you in recovery. I'm trying to get my life together. You know, when I was in a program and a gentleman was telling me that he loved this woman that was in the same program that we was, and they was sneaking off and all that. And I said to him, I said, I get it because I understand the pain. I understand it. But here's the thing. How about if she works on her, you work on you, right? Y'all open up a bank account together, savings. Y'all save for y'all's future together. She works on her program, you work on her program. Right? You want to be together, right? Plan it. Save money. Do it 2 years. Save money for 2 years, and you'll be able to get your own place, put some furniture in there and live together, and you'll have 2 years clean. Both of y'all put that money in there and save it. Work your program separately, go to meetings together, have your own sponsors, make sure that you stay focused. Put your plans on paper, abide by it, respect each other, and see if you feel the same way in 2 years. I want what I want and I want it now. Why can't we do it this way? Why we gotta wait? Just because I walk from being active addiction into a recovery place that I'm well. Don't change. Just because I stop using doesn't mean that I'm well. I need to work on Robert. I need to make Robert better. I need to learn how to live life on life's terms. I need to learn how to support myself clean and sober. I need to learn how to have money and not spend it and let my mind keep calling me. I need to go get me a hit. You got the money to go get it. Go and get your hit. You can handle it now. I have to learn how to take care of myself over again. So there's a lot of things I got to do for Robert. So wouldn't it be sensible to get Robert together? So Robert has a sound foundation in recovery. And then get into a relationship Here's the thing: if you're serious about the relationship, that means you're not stop dealing with each other, connecting with each other, but you're putting things into motion that make sense. We're saving money together so we can get a place together. We want to complete the 12 steps before we move in together. We give ourselves a 2-year time limit on doing all this. We need to have jobs so we can take care of ourselves. Learn how to take care of ourselves first before we come together as one. But we'll save money together. We'll see if we feel the same way 3 months from now. See if we feel the same way 6 months from now. 9 months from now. A year from now. A year and a half from now. 2 years. If we still feel the same way in 2 years, we're good, because now we got 2 years of clean time under our belt. We're working, we're taking care of ourselves, we're paying our own way. We feel good about where we're at. We done completed 12 steps. We're helping others in recovery. We've saved money for 2 years so we can walk in and get us a nice place and have some nice furniture. We made life easy for the transition. We worked for a goal and we completed it, and we're good with it. So, the point I'm trying to make is that people that are in recovery are much, much more than their addiction. They're human beings. They have a lot to offer to others. And when we take the addiction and we take that from them, and they're living life on life's terms in recovery, then you watch them flourish into roses, into people that care for others, that have the desire to help others from suffering an active addiction, building a life for themselves, taking care of themselves and their family, doing things that they thought they never could get done, and they've done it, and moved so far advanced in their recovery that they don't even understand how they got there, but they kept doing the next right thing, one day at a time. So remember this, that your addiction is an illness. And if you take the medicine of recovery, you will get well. You will be able to function, living life on life's terms, enjoying the pleasures of recovery, because you're much, much more than your disease. You have a great and wonderful day.